September is Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. According to the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, 1 in 50 people live with paralysis. In addition, the medical expenses in the first year after an injury can be upwards of $700,000 for someone who is severely injured. Tonight, we hear from Jenn McCormick, a West Springfield mom whose 19-year-old son, Conor, is a spinal cord injury survivor and advocate. Carolee McGrath has more.
He's doing really well. He is a sophomore right now at Boston College. Boston College has been unbelievably accommodating and has done everything they can to make the campus accessible for him, and what wasn't accessible, they fix. He is on the board of a club where they basically help make the campus more accessible for students who have disabilities. He's very passionate about that.
Tell us a little bit about that day and what happened.
Both my sons were with some friends next door, swimming and hanging out. And Conor had gotten out of the pool for the evening, and he was walking along the side and lost his footing when he made a motion, and he leaned sideways, and he happened to be right at the part of the pool where the shallow turns to deep. So he fell in sideways. He hit the water hard enough that it jolted him to the point where he just sank to the bottom. And when he did, he hit his head in a 1 in a million, just the right way, that he broke his neck.
It was a C4, C5 injury?
C4, C5 incomplete, and he had fractured his C3.
And so what does that mean as far as what he's able to do now?
Yeah, so a C4, C5 is normally, they're paralyzed from the nipples down, which he is. The difference is some of them have biceps, some of them don't. Some of them have triceps, some of them don't. Some of them have some dexterity in their hands, some of them don't. It all depends on which nerves got affected. Conor didn't have any of those things, but then he had, over the last 3 years, he's had many surgeries that have helped him regain certain usages. So Shriners in Philadelphia is Spinal Cord Injury Specialty Center. He got in a clinical trial there to do nerve and tendon transfers, which gave him the ability to have wrist control. So before he had no wrist control. And now he has wrist control where he can move them against gravity and with gravity. Then he had another procedure at Shriners to regain thumb pinch. So he, not on both hands, it wasn't viable, but just one hand, he can thumb pinch. The thumb pinch has been pretty life-changing. You don't really think about how much you need that until, before he couldn't flip a page of a book himself. And the bit of strength that the wrist gave him, it allowed him to go from a power chair to a manual chair with power assist wheels.
All of these things that you're saying, I think we all take for granted, right? I mean, this is not something that's common. Why is this so important for you to be out here speaking? I see you have the green ribbon.
Yes.
Talking about this.
It's so rare that it's just not known about. And a big part of being an advocate is putting the awareness out there and putting education out there so that people do know, and they can try to be preventative. They can try to make it a more inclusive place for people who have spinal cord injuries. My main goal would be to educate people for prevention, because I don't want to see anybody end up with a spinal cord injury if it's preventable. And my number 2 goal would be inclusiveness.
With Conor doing what he's doing up at BC, obviously he's spreading a lot of awareness. Mm-hmm. Yes, he has this injury, but my gosh, I mean, his future, there's so much potential. He's going to do so many incredible things. Do you think you could encourage other people who are facing this, maybe a new accident, that that there's life after this happens?
There's definitely life after it happens, for sure. I would say that everybody tells you in the beginning, as the patient and as the caregiver, they say just that. They're like, your life will continue, you'll get through this period. And, when they tell you that the first 2 years is the rough period, and then year 3 to 5 is your finding your new normal period. When you're told that at the time, you can't really put that into perspective because you're just thinking about right now. But that is pretty accurate. The first 2 years is a very hard struggle. But if you're tough and you get through it, there's nothing that you were going to do before your injury that you can't do after your injury if you can just really get through those first 2 years. And I think what people need to hear is it's going to be hard. Because I was told so many encouraging things, which were all true, but it was hard to hear them when you had nothing to hold on to physically. So I almost wish that I would have been told a little more how hard the first 2 years would be, so that I kind of had a vision in my head of like, okay, I just got to get to here, and then things are going to start to kind of normalize. So that is for me as a caretaker and me as a family member. But for Conor, I feel like emotionally, acceptance-wise, and just really kind of accepting and navigating your new body, that also didn't really hit until just recently because he didn't stabilize until then. But now that he's at a point where he's like, okay, this is the body I'm in, and this is where I'm at, he's doing great. He's living every moment for what it's worth.